Welcome to this channel. Today we are going to look at how to use Power Query Editor in our Power BI desktop. So first, when you launch your Power BI desktop, this is the initial UI that you are going to see. So with that being said, let's get into action. Let's click on blank report, choose blank report. Okay, so it will take us to our next UI. So here we are going to make data cleaning. Okay, so in our data cleaning process in Power BI, and then as well as using the Power Query Editor, we are going to consider three main things that are ETL. The first E stands for extraction. So first, let's look at the extraction. Then we move on to the T, that is the transformation. The last one, L, that is the loading. So T, sorry, the E stands for what? Extraction. Okay, so extraction is where we are going to what? Obtain our data set and then make decision on that one or transform that data set. Okay, so extraction simply means obtaining what your data what set. Okay, so the whole of this pane is called the menu transformation what pane. So under this menu transformation pane, we have access to file. It takes us back to our initial page. Then we also have insert, modeling, view, and then what have you. But let's go to the home tab. So the home tab is where we get data, okay, or extract it. So we get to get data. So these are the data sources formats that we can have access to. So my data format is in what? Excel workbook. I click on Excel. So it takes me to my data what set on my PC. So I choose this data set, then I click on open. Okay, so it will connect me to my data set. Alright, so this is my data set and they are presented in tables. Okay, let me choose the first one, that is the table one. Okay, let me choose the sales data. Okay, this is the sales data. I check this one, or I make sure that that box is checked. So here we have access to load, transform, and then cancel. But as a beginner, we have to always choose transform and then make a decision or transform our data. That is when we are going to clean it. So quickly, it will lead me to my Power Query Editor mode. Okay, that's my Power Query Editor mode. Nicely. So this is my Power Query Editor mode, and then my data has been what extracted and then imported in this format. Okay, so when we come to the home tab, we have access to these ribbons. The first one is close and apply. So close and apply this use when you are done transforming it and you want to load your data into the Power Query desktop and then make decision on that one. Then we also have new sources. So new sources also give us access to import new what data what forms, and then recent sources. So the recent sources include the recent data sets that I have accessed. Then we have enter data. So the enter data is just like the Microsoft Excel that gives you the flexibility of enter your own data source. So these other ribbons or the explanation will come as we progress. So let's look at this add column tab. So when we come to the add column, these are the ribbons that you can see over here. Then let's look at the view. So the view give us access to other ribbons. So we have some checked box here that you are going to consider, but first you are going to consider three. Okay, so the three are the column quality, the column distribution, and then column profile. Okay, so first let's look at column quality. So when we check the column quality, quality is going to give us three unique properties about each column. Okay, the first one is the validity, error, and then emptiness. So when we look at the validity is what 100%. There is no error, there is no emptiness. Okay, you see that emptiness is 0%, error is also 0%, but validity is 100%. So it means that this column is working. Okay, so our Power Query Editor is smart that the moment you import or you extract your data in that environment, it automatically detects the data types of each column. So as you can see from here, that is the row ID. The data entry is what the ABC stands for text data entry. So it's text. So automatically it detects it for us. Other ID, they are numbers. So quickly it detects as what a numerical data type. So when you look here, other date, that thing that you see here represents what data entry, date entry. Okay, so automatically it detects that one as well. So let's go through and see whether we have all of them as the same. Okay, all right. So when we come to the sales, we can see that validity is what 92, 98%, and then emptiness is what 2%. Okay, so there's an emptiness in this one. So we are going to what check on that one as well. Let's look at this one, column profile. So when we come here, the column profile, it gives us the analysis of each what column. Okay, so when you open your Power Query editor mode, it has access to a general sample of what thousand. Okay, so you said that column profile based on what top thousand what rules. Okay, but this is not the entire data set entries that I have. So it also tells us that you can also choose what column profile based on what entire data set. When you choose based on entire data set, it might not be able to display all of these ones. Okay, so the Power Query editor always give us a general sample of what thousand rows of our data set, if and only if it's greater than that one. But you can also choose based on the entire data set, but that one you're not going to get access to this one and then make decision on that, though the column quality might be there, but these statistical analysis might not be available. So let me maintain the first thousand rows as well. Okay, thank you. So let me see the column distribution. Good. Let me check this one. So column distribution also tells us the uniqueness and then the distinct data entry of each column. So here, this is the distinct data out entry. It tells us that there are what 99% distinct what data entry. So distinct means that each the distinct is the total number of data entry in each column, and then uniqueness is also how special each data entry is different from what each other. Okay, so here it tells us that there are what 996 data entries here that are distinct, and then 990 two unique one. So it means that this and this are not what equal. Okay, so it means there are four data entries that are out of the same, or they are the same. Okay, so yes, so all of this, that is what it means. Okay, all right, so let's look at how to also change our data type entry. So this one, order ID, I'm not going to make any calculation on that one, so I can change this one to what a text. So click here as a single click, then we have access to what different data what type. So let me choose text. Okay, so I will do replace current. So you go through and then you check for any data entries columns that you don't need them in that data format that the Power Query has detected. Okay, all right, so let's look at how to also transform the rest of the data. Okay, so we are going to look at how to remove emptiness from our data set. Okay, so which one is having emptiness or error in that? So let's go to this column, the sales column. Okay, we come to the filter. So filter, you see that it has a checkbox of each data entry. Okay, I can deselect all of them and then check the now only. So I click here and then take me to the now data entries. Okay, so these are the now column. Okay, so how do I deal with this one? I can decide to uh, remove that one. So when I come here, I make sure that all of them are checked and then uncheck only the now. Okay, quickly it takes us then away the now values. Okay, so this is apply steps. So the apply steps gives us uh the records of each steps that you are going to make, or each decision that you are going to make in our Power Query editor. So anything that we make here, it is being recorded in the apply step also. Okay, so if you want to go back in action, you just click on this cut sign over here, and then it will take you back to your general or your initial stage of your data set. Okay, so I have been able to remove that one. Let me check for another one. So that is how to deal with what's now what values. You see, dealing or cleaning data sets in your Power Query is very simple. Not just like the one that you used to see in the Excel file where you need to, highlight the entire column and then what have you. Okay, okay. This one also having emptiness, the other date. Let me remove that one as well. So you go through the same process and check only this one and then remove that one. Good. So I've been able to also remove that one. Filter. Let me see. It is still having that one. Alright. Okay, so let's look at how to transform the rest of this one as well. So when I click here, I can get access to transform. So transform can give me access to lower upper. So capitalize each letter, trim, clean, and what have you. So trimming, as we studied in the Microsoft Excel sheet, I can trim my data sets. Good. So it means that this one is well trimmed over here. I have been able to trim that one. If I want to also change the style, okay, I click here, right click, then I come to transform, and then change it to uppercase. Quickly, it changed all the data entries into what's uppercase. So you have the flexibility to do this one, just like what we were doing in the Microsoft Excel. Okay, so this one is very flexible. I don't like this one, so I can just go back in for time. So it takes me back to my initial stage of my data set. Okay, all right. So let's look at how to also choose and then remove what columns. Sometimes when you are dealing with some data sets, some column might not be what important for you, so you can just delete them or what remove them. So let's come to the home tab, and then we come to choose column. So choose column give you access to either maintain some columns or remove some what columns. So when I come here, I have access to all the columns in my data what set. So the ones that I don't like, let me see, uh, customer zip code, I don't like. I'll just uncheck that one to remove that one. Then we also have the customer ID. Maybe I don't like this one. I don't like order quantity. I don't like profit per. Let me see profit per order. I don't like it. Additional order item. I might like this. The ones that you don't like, just uncheck them. Okay. So this one is just for practice sake. Then I click on OK. Quickly, the ones that I unchecked are all what removed. Okay. They are left with the ones that I didn't want, or the ones that I want. Okay, or you can manually use this method. Just click and hold your control key, click here, and then you select some of these ones. So once you select and you right click on any of that, it gives you the flexibility to what remove those selected what columns or what remove what other columns. So when you hit on remove what those columns, it takes away the columns that you selected. Let me go back in action. Or when you click and then select them, right click here, said remove other columns. So let's hit on, so when you hit on remove other columns, it's going to take away the unselected what columns and leave the ones that you selected. Okay, so this is another way of also choosing your column. Okay, nicely done. We can also use find and replace, just as the one that we used to see in the Microsoft Excel. So let's see here, maybe you want to replace something like customer name. We come here, right click here, go to replace what values. So these values, what value do you want to find? Let me see, Mary. I want to find Mary. And then what do you want to replace Mary with? Let me see. I want to replace Mary with Susan. Okay. Then I click on OK. Good. So all the Marys will be changed to what? Susan. Okay. All the Mary will be changed to what? Susan. Let's look at how to also split rows. Okay. And then next one, we will also look at how to also merge what rows. So let me see this other date. I want to split it. Okay. I will click here. I come to where is it? Split. Transform data. Split rows. Okay, better still, I can just come to this ribbon and then come to split by delimiter. Okay, so automatically it detects the delimiter that I want to split that one with. Okay, so here, or I can choose a customized delimiter. Okay, so let me maintain it. Okay, and then we have access to leftmost delimiter, rightmost delimiter, each occurrence of the delimiter. So let me take each occurrence of the delimiter. I click on OK. Let's see. Good. So it has split my data. So the first one was the day, the second was the month, and the last one was what, the year. So it has splitted it according to what the delimiter. That is the forward slash. So selected is, so initially it wasn't like this, but they were all what merged. Okay, so this is how to also split your data set. Okay, so merging it is also the same thing. So I can go through this one and then merge it. All that I need to do is that select them, select each column. So I'll select this one, and then select this one. Just click on this one and then hold your control key to select all of them. Then I just come here, right click here, and then I just have to do this one here. Okay, so I just right click here and then I come to what, merge columns. Okay, then the separator. So the separator just like the delimiter. So let me see, customize. Let me customize it and then use forward slash. Okay, I'm coming. Alright, so I'll just use forward slash, and then you have the option of changing or naming that merge columns that you are going to what merge. Then I click on OK. Quickly, you see that's merges for me. So this one is what's merged. It means that I've combined all of them. So if you want to also rename it, just double click and then you type the name that you want. Very, very flexible over here. Alright, so when you are done with the transformation of your data or cleaning, you come to the close and apply. So this one, you have access to close and apply and then close. So close and apply means you are going to close your current page in the Query Editor, and then you apply this in your Power BI. And apply means that you are going to apply it whilst you don't close the Power Query Editor mode. So let me go to close and apply. I hit here quickly, it will send me to this one and then load my data set into the Power BI for next decision to be taken. Thank you for getting time to watch this video. Our next subsequent video is going to be on creation of dashboard. Thank you.